Welcome, ladies and gents, to another magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer. Whoop, wham, boom. All right, moon in social Leo, third house away from the Gemini sun, squaring Neptune exactly. Saturn is squaring Uranus exactly. All right, the moon's going to be opposing Saturn this transit and squaring Uranus. Just because something's right doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. Some things and sayings are obviously, they make sense until you actually contextualize them and how it applies in people's real lives. And then you realize, oh, it's just something that sounds woke, but it's actually fucking stupid. But outside of that, don't get deterred by individuals who share their opinions, whether they're directly to you or not. They have every right to share those feelings and opinions. So if you're getting triggered by it, you might want to look at, what's within you that's getting you triggered. On the same token, just remember, it's just an opinion. It's as, it's less useful. It's more meaningless than the poop that you poop in the toilet. Other people's opinions, because at least the poop that you poop in the toilet serves a function, and other people's opinions it's just kind of there, especially unsolicited, because people think they're cool. But other than that, the moon is in Leo, my friends. Third house, the Gemini sun. This is giving you onus to express the courage of your attitude. Gemini has an attitude. Gemini is the sign of the attitude. And it's always when the moon is in Leo that we gain boldness to activating this new moon cycle, express ideas. It's this transit that square Uranus is going to be like, hey, ma'am, everyone's lying to you. You look fat as hell in that dress. Nothing wrong with being fat. You look beautiful. You just have to know that. And this is where, this brand of truth could deviate from the social normative expectations of being politically correct. It's going to be a shit show, guys. But outside of that, the drama that this moon in Leo will bring will be fun if you like popcorn and, very embarrassing instances where people's egos just get way too out of control. Shoot, mine included. You never know. Just enable yourself through this transit to uncompromisingly and with no fear express your true thoughts. This is not about being right or wrong. This is why I was saying earlier, some people could say some things that are right, but contextually to your situation are not true at all. And from the outside looking in, people think they know things until they are enlightened and realize, oh wait, they don't know shit. That's a nightmare. So, you can even see me getting canned. It's that moon and Leo energy. We started off with Mars. If you felt very sexual, very aroused, it's that Martian energy you can channel any which way. Once again, though, with that square to Uranus that's going to be had, you must champion your own individual values. And this is going to be so very important coming into Scorpio, because with that square to Saturn, you have the social expectation. Remember, squares put each other in check, so no side is right. There's social expectations that as an individual, it's only going to hurt you if you don't live up to. If you want to be that stubborn, although the choice is yours, there are individual liberties that you have that can tell certain social expectations to suck a dick. And it's learning how you deal with that clash. You don't want to be too individual, but you don't want to be too conformist too. I'm not going to say have a balance. We don't have Libra energy. So do what the fuck you want. But just be very, very mindful that that edge here during the revolution of an individual and with this moon square Uranus will trigger self-esteem issues relative to how confident you are expressing eccentric values. Things that uniquely to you have no problem doing, you can take responsibility for, and it's your own inner genius, versus what society, referencing the collective Saturn and Aquarius, social expectation with the moon in Leo thinks about what you do individually. Once again, people may have all sorts of wisdom, but from the outside looking in, fun fact, what you do personally, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to fucking believe this. It's none of their business. Oh my gosh, I know. The entitlement that, groups of people have to really insinuate or even if indirectly assert that they have any say with how you live your life, is really none of your concern. Isn't that amazing? It's not like it has nothing to do with you. And this is very dangerous because when people do that from the outside looking in, for example, when they're like, "Oh, you just need to go out and run and stop being fat." Like if people just went out, you know what I mean, and like didn't eat all day, then which is a casual observation from the outside looking in. Obviously what they're saying is pretty right. If you run and if you have the motivation, you know what I mean, you get out there, you're going to lose the weight. The fatal presupposition is that you're simplifying an issue that many go through, trivializing it as, oh, you just need to do A and B, and the complex motivations that are even having you in this situation, they won't be there. You just have to be stronger, which people who talk like that don't realize how fucking stupid they are. Not sound, are. Okay, this is why you're not really supposed to judge other people. Bring value to others when they ask. Unsolicited advice just makes you an ass. So really keep that in mind, okay? Because it's very easy from the outside looking in to offer this unsolicited prescriptions to issues that you see collectively, but offer no real solutions. It's easy to talk about other groups of people so you feel better than them to other groups of people who sharing your insecurity, which is why you need to bring up other groups to feel better than. We get that. But you want to make sure you're not inadvertently playing yourself, because that's what this opposition to Saturn and square to Uranus will test and challenge simultaneously. A lot of you have certain idiosyncrasies, fetishes, stuff that you genuinely like to do that you're caught up on. You think you need to give it up. You think you need to end it. First of all, moderation is key. It's not about not doing something. You have to just make sure you're not doing it enough to where it's a harmful habit. But this is going to be very tricky for people because some people are still in this false pseudo-intellectual thought that, oh, this isn't spiritual, so I shouldn't have to do this. Oh, this is good, so I should do this. And it's like that. You didn't come here to this world to do anything in this life. You didn't come here in this world to make your life anything meaningful. I'm not being nihilistic here. You didn't come here in this world to live life a perfect way. You came here to be you. So whether you fuck your life up, congratulations. That's what you decided. Whether you make the most out of your life, congratulations. That's what you decided. You don't want to give in to, once again, this pseudo-intellectual fake woke view that there's a certain type of way that a person should be living. That's a myth. It's a social expectation. And as the moon transits Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, social zodiac signs, you're going to be hearing pseudo-intellectual rhetoric of social expectations that people just assume other people should do. When that's hive mind thinking, once again, it's not like the advice isn't completely wrong. It's not like people are saying what it's wrong, what to do is wrong. It's just you may not be as aware how much of a half or quarter truth as it is, because everybody is different and there's not a cookie cutter recipe solution for certain problems. Otherwise, if what people are suggesting is that easy or simple, everyone would do it. So keep that in mind. I'm going to say this one more time because these squares are very important. The square that the sun will be making to Neptune during this transit while the moon's in Leo, with that light and receptivity to courage, is going to give you the courage to speak Gemini against deception, and how you could be gaslighted, how certain things you're doing could be twisted, misled. When it doesn't give the full picture of what it really is, you most importantly want to call yourself out, myself included, on whatever bullshit you're doing, okay? Because it's one thing for other to deal with other people's BS. You don't want to, of course, be the one diluting yourself. And a day like this is going to, of course, make you more aware of how you're doing that. But you want to not fall into the trap of giving something up because you think it's not right. Some people will manipulate you emotionally and be like, oh, do it for yourself, do it for yourself. But you are doing it for yourself. And this is that Uranus square, where to other people, it's super weird. It's not normal. And this is where I go back. You didn't incarnate in this reality to be normal. It's the biggest insult. You're as unique as a snowflake. So, I mean, anything that you could do to stand out is beautiful, just on that notion. And that's what Uranus and Taurus is wanting to remind you, to own the idiosyncrasies and eccentricities of your value. Yeah, other people are going to look at it like it's weird, and they should, just as people should laugh at your dreams or they're not big enough. But make sure that if you decide to give something up, make sure if you decide to stop something, you're doing it for yourself because you want to do it. A lot of you have these weird fetishes that are not weird, they're just weird to other people. Okay, and so you feel like, oh, no fat, for example. Like, a lot of people, first of all, if you're gonna do the no fat journey, you should do it because you want to do it, not because you're getting pressured by other people to tell you what to do with your private parts. That's weird. Like, that's nobody else's business. So if you're at a position where you haven't necessarily maintained that self-control, which is misleading in and of itself too, because just because you do it doesn't mean you lack self-control. But if you're in a position where, you know what I'm saying, I'm using this example because it's a sexual example, and this it's the sexual private stuff that's going to really trigger people. So it's like, if you feel like you shouldn't do it because the general prevailing authority around you has given you the impression that it's wrong, then you should keep on whacking your shit like no man's business until it's something that you personally have decided you don't want to do. This is so important because you're going to learn through this transit a lot of expectations socially that you're told are wrong. They're not wrong. It's just not accepted. And that doesn't make it wrong. I'm preaching, like, trust me. I'm using extreme examples, but like this moon in Leo transit will help you break through and how much courageous you are expressing this facet of your attitude. And that square to Uranus wants to make sure that you don't give in to peer pressure to hide aspects of yourself because it's not cool or because it's not acceptable, which the whole notion that people even feel cooler than other people is fascinating. It's one of the greatest myths that we still champion today because, you know, people have forgotten their place in this universe where there's so much, like trillions of other beings, but we're so narcissistically focused on our shitty ass culture when, you know, there are people starving and we would rather trend the dumbest shit instead of trend, I don't know, some shit to help the starving kids. Shout out to y'all actually doing some shit too. Shout out to y'all actually doing the good work. So, you know, other than that, it is what it is. Beware of these false prophets, my friend. Like, there are people who know how to say and sound right, but they're not offering any real solutions. They're just dividing people. They're having you feel like you're better than other people because, you know, they think that their business is to talk about what other people do. It's weird. It's weird. And this energy, as weird as it's going to be really empowering because this is going to really open up your voice. Be prepared to argue with this opposition and don't be a wimp. Stand, like, this is not about being right. Even if what you're saying is wrong, have the courage to say it. Spit your game and speak your truth. Talk your shit. All right, y'all stay blessed as always. I hope you love this transit. I am, and I will. Godspeed.